Alright, I don't know what's going on. I've been having a lot of trouble lately streaming. I think I need to look into this. So, I'm gonna take a cashew break. So, hi, everybody. I adulted all day today. Rock on. Woo. It was a lot. It was a lot. Um, so, the good news, bad news. The bad news is that the chronicles of my dipshit boss are soon gonna end. Okay? Um. Ooh. Soon, I will not be dealing with him and his ridiculousness. And so. You know, we're just gonna have to find some other fucking entertainment. I guess. Can you hear how upset I am? Very upset. I'm not gonna have to deal with his bullshit much longer. So upset. So, here's the thing. Because apparently what we do here is talk about the nonsense that is my life. I know that's why you tuned in. I know it is. I know. It's what we're here for. Anyway. So, this is very exciting. I don't make really big wands often. So that is super freaking cool. There's another one somewhere around here. Haha! Now let's go ahead and check and see. Okay, so we got one more wand beyond this. Ooh, look at that. Look at that sparkly bitch. Ooh. I need two of them. So anyway, I like big ones and I cannot lie. I don't know. I don't even know. I put in to take today off like several weeks ago, right? Now, look, I've been around the block a couple of times, so I know that just because you put in doesn't mean you get the time off. But I was assured that it was put in and it was fine. Okay, so riddle me this, Batman. Why did my boss call wife, who, let's all remember, works at another store and hasn't worked with me since before he came to our store, alright? Why did he call her to get my number? To know where I was. Anybody else see a problem here? For somebody who runs a store, I gotta tell you, he doesn't run shit. Like, he doesn't. Because he does not know what the fuck is going on. Ever. Like, he could be there all day and not know what the fuck is going on. Because, I don't know, he just, like, doesn't involve himself in things in a way that, like, makes any kind of sense. He just wants to pop back in and, like, not actually ask any questions and not actually communicate anything and just kind of, like, mumble to you. Like, he doesn't even bark at you. He just mumbles. And, like, he mumbles while he's walking away. And I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna answer you if you can't fucking face me. Like, for one, I'm actually hard of hearing. Okay. And so, my regular statement to him actually is, huh? I mean, not, like, truly to be an asshole, but, like, guy, I can't hear you well when you're not, like, enunciating and you're turned away from me. Right? Like, I don't understand how anybody is supposed to clearly understand somebody who speaks in that manner, But hey, nobody fucking asked me. Whatever. So what I started doing is, if I didn't clearly hear you, I don't fucking answer you. And if I do say anything to you, it's huh, which is me very clearly communicating that I didn't fucking hear you. Right? Pretty sure that's what that means. But there's an understanding that is missing there. Hence the huh. Now, if he would talk to me like a person, and actually have a conversation with me, I, we could like clear all this up. But he can't for some unknown reason. So, there you go. We are at an impasse. And I am not going to go out of my way to meet someone part of the way when they cannot be bothered to, like, hold up their end of stuff. Like, no. I'm not going to do all the heavy lifting because you can't be bothered. That's a no for me. I think honestly, this shit's all really hilarious to me. Because it is ridiculous. Like, he doesn't want to have a conversation with anybody, but then wants to basically bitch because he doesn't know what's going on. And it's like, the fry squint. Like, did you have a conversation with anybody? Or did you just expect something to be handed to you without communicating what you needed or wanted to know? And you're gonna, like, be a little bitch about not getting something that you didn't even communicate that you needed or wanted to know. Like, I'm not gonna read your mind. And I'm not gonna chase up after you. I have kids, I don't need more. Like, I don't understand the mentality that goes with this. I really, really don't. Like, what? What do you mean you don't understand? But you're not willing to engage in discourse. And you're not willing to communicate. Like, I heard something on TikTok a couple weeks ago about, like, ask culture versus, I think it's ask versus tell, or ask versus question. And the long and short of it is, in one frame of mind, people will present things that they want you to respond to because they're looking for a specific response. In the other frame of thought, people will just be direct about it. So basically direct versus indirect. And the thing with it is a lot of people who are indirect about things, because they're mentioning something, assume that they're being direct. But if you don't outline, like, what you're trying to do, or what you mean, or what you want, like, can you really get upset about not having that need or want met because you didn't clearly communicate anything? And the thing with it is that to people who communicate in that fashion, to them, they just, like, assume that because they mentioned it, it's obvious. But, like, I feel like, no. Like, you're asking someone to draw a conclusion. And I don't feel like that is reasonable. Because sometimes people are just, like, announcing things. Like, some people just want to be heard and want you to know this thing. And that's literally it. Right? And it's nothing more than that. They don't want anything. And I'm the kind of person that, like, if I want something, I'm going to communicate that I want something. Now, I get it. Sometimes it's hard to verbalize what you want. And a lot of people will not verbalize what they want in a attempt to not have to deal with rejection. Right? Unfortunately, rejection is part of life. At some point, you're probably going to be told no. Right? Probably. And it's not necessarily personal. It's not necessarily this thing against you. Sometimes the answer is just no. There's all kinds of reasons that the answer might be no. And it's nothing personal. It's not an attack, right? The answer is just no. And it's not a big deal. Now, there are people who cannot deal with no, like at all. And I feel like if you can't deal with no at all, like at all, ever, it feels like a red flag to me. Like, I think you need to see somebody about that. Because I'm a bit concerned for you. Because you're gonna run into no at some point. Right? 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 That's how that works, right? And you need to be able to handle that. And not self-destruct. And I'm not saying that you have to like it. Like, sure. Nobody likes being told no. I get that. I'm not a fan of it either. But that's just kind of how it goes, though. You know? You know? So, you can't handle no. Ooh, I think your life is going to be hard, person. I don't think it's going to be peaches and gravy. Okay? I really don't. And I think you're going to be in, like, for a world of, like, disappointment, hurt, upset, and just, in general, some just unpleasant stuff. I really do. It's just, like, an observation, though, okay? Right. Like, statistically, it's likely. Now look, again, no is not a big deal. Right? No is a fact of life, right? It's part of reality. It's all good. Was that, to quote Olaf, all good things. Totally out of context, but you know. You know. We were just talking about you. I can't feel my... Already bones. I don't have a skull. Already bones. Watch out for my butt. Oh man, I'm enjoying that too much. Anyway, yeah, I get it's not easy, and I don't know. I don't do well with people who, I guess, approach things in that manner. Because you're basically asking me to play a guessing game with you, and I don't like that. Like, I totally understand it's difficult to approach things. At the same time, in this specific context, this guy is in charge. And from where I'm sitting, he needs to act like it. Yeah? Yeah? That seems reasonable, right? I'm not, making stuff up. Right? Right? And look, I'm not saying that everybody or anybody is cut out to be in charge. Some people really aren't. And hey, that's fine. That's fine, It's not a big deal. Shit happens. Some people are just not suited to certain jobs or, like, situations. And that's fine and that's fair. Like, why is this being such a jerk? But, like, if you're gonna do the job, yeah? I think if you can't or won't do the job, then there are some specific steps that you need to take. And one of them is to not be, like, in the position where it's your job to do the thing. Like, if you don't or can't or won't do what you need to do to fulfill an obligation, that is totally fine. Then don't enter into a situation, where you have to. That feels like a losing battle. Mhm. Right? Am I the only one who thinks that? I don't know. Right, nobody asked me though, so it's fine. It's fine. Anyway. Well, the going line is if you want my number, you need to ask me. And I have reiterated this time and time again. And I feel like that's pretty much an understood fact. Like you don't give people's personal information out. Like you don't do that. That's a big no-no. It's a no-no square. And I don't know, was Guy absent like on that day in class? Maybe? I don't fucking know. But I'm wondering. I'm really wondering. Like he missed that lesson? Did he fall asleep? To not get the memo? What we're not gonna do is the Okay, so remember we're trying to build up Castle Bunyan. So we need to do this. Did not mean to do that. Oh my goodness. Okay. We didn't have quite as many doodads this time around for this endeavor. Now, to be fair, I did in fact like I want to say buy some more energy. Let's actually do that right now. Oh, you know what? Alright, I'm gonna put you on pause so I can watch this ad. Okay. Alright. So we got a nice amount of energy. So what are we gonna do? This. We can get our oh my gosh, all the things on. Yep, yep, yep. Uh-huh. So we're gonna go ahead and put all our chests. Up here. Like, I don't really want to restart this game, but I kind of do. I mean, just in general. Because there's so many choices that I've made in this game that I would make differently now because I've learned some things. And I'm not saying that's the right answer, by the way. I'm not saying that at all. And I'm not saying that there's not still more I'm going to learn. So I heard about the whole asking where I was, like, I got a text from wife. And she was like, "Oh yeah, he wants to. He called asking for your number." And I'm just like, "And you told him you didn't have it, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay." Hey, look, just as long as we're all on the same page. It's like fucking Fight Club. Rule number 1: do not talk about Fight Club. We do not give out Ray's number for any reason to anyone. Because if you don't have my number, there's a reason you don't have my number. And that reason probably is because you didn't ask me. Now, here's the funny thing about this, right? I was at work yesterday. He was at work yesterday. Did he ask for my contact information yesterday? No. Has he ever asked me for my contact information? No. Now, do you think that I would be more receptive if somebody called me who I didn't give my number to? I gotta tell you, I wouldn't be. I'd be actually really hell pissed. I'd be like, the fuck are you calling me for? And if he texted me, which is very likely, he would get a rude awakening. I don't answer texts. Like, I like you, and I'm not going to answer your text. Because I'm not. Because I fucking hate texting. It just, for some reason, it irritates the living daylights out of me. I don't know why. I think it's because of the culture around texting. A lot of people kind of expect an immediate answer. And that's not what texting is for me. Texting is, I will get back to you when I fucking get back to you. That's what texting is. And don't hold your breath. Okay? I mean, you can if you want to, but probably gonna pass out. So, maybe don't do ridiculous bullshit like that. Maybe. I don't know. I know, it's like unreasonable. But, yeah. Okay, so. But, like, I don't know. I don't know, like, where people have this idea that that's how that's gonna work, but that's not how it works with me. What we're not gonna do is that shit. We are not. No, I did not. Don't have to pay rent anymore. But, like, for cereal, though, why is it, why is that the expectation? That if you reach out to me, that I'm, like, immediately gonna get back to you. Where is that? Where's that coming from? Can somebody tell me? 'Cause Yeah. I also don't understand the need to like have your email open all the time, and I'm about to enter into a work environment where that seems to be like the norm, and I think that's really fucking weird. Like getting a hold of me via email is like next to impossible. I'm sure I received your email. I'm sure I did. Okay, right. I'm also sure that I'm probably never going to answer it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see what their discoveries are for our chests. Sack of seeds. Okay, so the sack of seeds is the big sack. Okay, so the wagons that's the grand chest, so there's not one bigger than that. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and open these. Ooh. But like, why is this a thing though? Like, what? It's fucking weird. Like, I also don't think that you need, like, I need to be accessible to everybody, or even a lot of people, a lot of the time. I assure you that most things can wait. Probably. Like, probably. In fact, I can kind of assure you that most things can wait. I'm like 100% positive of that. That sounds like 100% right to me. Most things are not life and death. They can wait. Now, people may not want to wait, right? Which is fair. I can totally understand somebody not wanting to wait. But, I mean, just because you don't want to do something doesn't mean that's how that's going to work out. Right? Right? We're all in the same. I don't know. We're probably not all living in the same timeline. I gotta be honest with you. Speaking of timelines, is anybody else thinking that things happened last year and what they really are thinking is things happened before COVID happened? Because I am. It's fucking weird. Like, I keep thinking, oh, this was last year. No, 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 no. It wasn't last year. It was before COVID, is what it was. And at this point, COVID's been going on for a couple of years, right? So, I'm seriously discombobulated. It's really disorienting. I don't like it. Like, I don't know if resetting the timeline is gonna like work. Like, I think we don't need to reset the timeline per se, but this like branch that happened, can we like go to before that? Like go to before the snap? Can we do that? Cuz I got to be honest with you, I'm having trouble. And I know I'm not the only one. Okay, so let's go ahead and do these. Alright. So, I keep starting the day's recap, right? And I just I know. Anyway, um I keep starting the day's recap and then my brain like keeps fritzing. As it does. So anyway, um and this is why this whole thing is ridiculous, because I had stuff to do today, right? Specifically, I had an interview this morning So I was going to go to a department and hang out on the department and see how things worked. Um, and I can understand why they would do it that way. The department that I was looking into, I feel like for those who don't have any experience with that kind of situation, it's a lot. And, like, if you couldn't get through shadowing somebody around and seeing what it looked like and how the flow of the work went, then you absolutely did not need to go to an interview. And personally, I think that was like a really good setup. Now, the last time I did a shadowing, I like stuck around for like an hour or so, like 30, 40 minutes. And I didn't know that that was something that was going to be asked of me before I got there. And so I was really, 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 really not prepared for that to happen. And yeah, that was like a lot, right? This time it was like posed to me before I even got there, which was helpful, right? Because then I could like mentally prepare myself and like make sure that I had the time to do it that day. And if I didn't, I could have like made other arrangements or, reschedule the whole thing altogether or whatever, right? Now, I had a feeling that when I went into this um, when I went into the shadowing that this was not going to be the position for me just because of what it was. Like, I didn't personally have any experience with this position, but yeah. Like, I was like, you know what? I don't think this is going to be for me. And that's fine. Like, that's fine. Oopsie. Oopsie doodle. I was still gonna go because I made the commitment to go and I made the decision to go, and so like I was absolutely still gonna go to this, even knowing that it was probably not gonna be a good fit. Because far be it from me to like make a judgment call about something when I really, really, really don't know anything about it, and then I could have been grossly wrong. So, by the way, no, definitely not for me. Um, And not for me, like, for exactly the reason one might imagine. Um, let's see. No. There we go. Hmm. We're looking for... What are we looking for? Gravy. What? Okay, there we go. So, we got this one, and we're gonna have another one of those. Okay, so we need, I don't know, 2 more grand wagons to make a wagon mansion. I think that's like a ridiculous statement. But it's also kind of funny. Oh my gosh. I'm so not ready to go back to work tomorrow. Anybody else with me? I never want to go back to work. Like, ever. Like, working longer hours and having more time off actually is not conducive to me at all. Mm-hmm. 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 It's kind of the worst, actually. So we need 3 of these. Now, if I get one more of these, right here, then I can make 2 of those. Right? Is that how that worked? I think that's how it worked. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, let's try to make that happen. Because I want to complete this. I just need one more. That's the goal. That's the goal. I swear to God, I'm gonna finish the story. Eventually. Eventually, right? Right? I don't know, maybe. Okay, so, a couple weeks ago, let's see if we can try this again. I'm so sorry, yo. My brain is, like, fried, though. To be honest with you, so. I don't think it's unreasonable. Sugar snaps. I don't think it's unreasonable for my brain to be like, yeah, no. Anyway, so, okay. I asked for this day off. Now, I knew about this interview a couple of weeks ago. And so I asked for this day off for that reason. Right? Because let's be sensible here. So, and then I got another interview that I actually didn't go to today. And had effectively made the decision that I wasn't going to go to it. Reasonably quickly. Because it was at a I think I've mentioned this before. It was at a place that I've worked at before, and I didn't want to go back to that place because when I left that place, like I left for a reason, and yeah. So I sure as hell didn't want to go back because at some point it was gonna come up of, oh, you used to work here, why'd you leave? And I'm reflexively the kind of person who will answer, like, if you ask me a question, I'll just, like, answer you. Even if maybe I shouldn't, like, just directly answer you. Like, I'm not saying I should lie, but, like, I left for reasons that were, like, not awesome. Like, the way there were things happening and that I didn't want to be involved in. That I had a problem with. I mean, anybody in their right mind would have had a problem with. So, I don't really want to get into that. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be questions I honestly don't want to answer. So. Oh, hey. I keep forgetting there's space up there. So. Yeah. But I've been continuing to take interviews. I have had a number of, like, opportunities. I totally forgot these were over here. I've had a number of opportunities, like, come my way, like, continually. Insofar as, here's, you know, Here's another interview. Here's another interview. Here's another interview. Right. And my standpoint with it was, if I can get an interview, I'm going. You know. Even if I'm not sure, like if it's anything other than like an outright no, sure, I'll go in. So, okay, so that's a big chest, right? Totally a big chest. Oh yeah, son. Okay, so, oh no, that means we gotta make room for these. So anyway, and then was it last week? I think I got or the week before, I got another interview request. Right, so I was gonna have 3 interviews today. Now again, I had already decided that I didn't want to go to the second one. I was gonna go, and then when things made headway, concerning the one I went, concerning the, gosh, actually I don't know. Do I have a point of reference for this? I don't know. Basically, some things turned out last week, or over the last week, and so I've already accepted a position. Basically. And, at the point that happened, right, anything else is kind of a no now. But, 1, I had already made the decision to attend this interview. And 2, the position that I've accepted is temporary. Now, it's not generally in my nature to, like, rely on things that aren't, like, permanent or, like, well established. But I have to get out of this place so badly that, I mean, however the hell I could do that is how that was going to happen, right? Anyway, so, so, sorry, making sure I'm not missing anything. Like I said, I had already made the decision that I was leaving, and that I've accepted this particular position. Now, right, that being said, because it's temporary, I am also taking into consideration the fact that at some point I'm going to have to find other employment. And I'm not of the mind to, like, wait till the last minute to do that. So I've been very upfront about, you know, with people and saying, look, I am looking at other things. And I want you to know that, because, like, I definitely don't want to give people the impression that, like, like, this is going to be the last job I work. Like, I do not want people thinking that that's where I'm at with stuff, because it's not. I definitely have larger aspirations, and I don't know. I just think it's right of me to, like, be clear about that. You know, obviously things change, and, you know, I might start this job and say, oh my god, I love it, I never want to leave. Now, let's just be honest, that's not what's going to happen. Right? But, like, Stranger Things, right? You know, life is stranger than fiction. So, there's nothing to say that that couldn't happen. Now, that said, people, let's just be realistic here. So I have been taking interviews, and this round, like the ones I had today, pretty much round out everything. I don't know that I'm not gonna get offered another interview. Like, I can't say that. At this point in time, I don't have any lined up, and I'm now getting to the point where I will probably have to, like, I'm gonna have to start declining interviews, or it's gonna be a matter of I'm gonna have to take off work to do them, and and it would mean taking off work at a new job, and I'm disinclined to do that because generally speaking, you're not gonna have that leeway, right? I know that, and so what I would be like opting to do would have to be something where like look, if you want to get me on the horn, you're gonna have to do it like 8 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous like that. Which I don't think I'm gonna get a whole lot of people jumping to do that, because that's just a little early. It's a little rich for my blood. Okay, like I don't want to be up that early. So if someone doesn't have to be, I don't imagine that they do either. So I was gonna shadow. We're in the department for a while and then do the interview. So I did that. Now, one, let's just go ahead and say that I like totally lost my ring temporarily because I don't take my ring off while I work, despite the fact that I work in a garage and that arguably would be a good idea, because I don't. There's no There's no really good reason for that. I think what we need to do, I think because we're down to the wire with these merges, we should just do these. So anyway, yeah, these were my last 3 interviews. Now like I said, I decided that I probably wasn't gonna go to the middle one, and that was just because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go because I don't want to work at that place. But I hadn't solidly made that decision. And right, everything is always is, Ramona Flowers, right? Like I reserve the right to change my mind. So, that's kind of where I was with it. And I made the decision I think yesterday because I believe yesterday I found out that the start date that the place that I'm trying to get into tentatively has given, and look, emphasis, tentatively has given, right? I don't have, I guess, what you would call an official offer, but that's because I'm waiting on like my background check to actually be completed, right? Um, and obviously those things take the time they take. I kind of want to speed that up, but I feel like I should be patient. So I've got my drug test and my background check that's still going to come back, right? So all well and good. So tentatively, though, I'm supposed to start Monday. Now, again, I did not know that until like, oh, I don't know, yesterday, which kind of matters. Like, I already knew that they were trying to get somebody into the position, at least one person. I'm not presuming they're only hiring one person. Like, I mean, I'm sure if they need more people, they're trying to hire more people. But like, I definitely, oopsie. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I don't know. I definitely don't imagine they're like trying to pin everything on like one person, right? Like, if they need more people, then I'm probably not the only one who's gonna start at that point, which is fine. I don't care. Whatever. I think we're just gonna do this. We're gonna just start doing this. So, as it happens, right? I figured that this is gonna be like the thing. You know what? Let's do this. So, I had to get up at 7 o'clock to get there. And by get up at 7 o'clock, what I actually mean is I had to be there at 7 o'clock. Which was super exciting. Like, yeah. Yay. In the worst way. Yay. So I got there. I was actually a little late. I was a little late because I said, you know what? You're going to go to this interview. You're going to be done with this interview. And then you got your other interviews. And then, you know what? Since you're going to be out, you know what else you should do? You should do some of that paperwork bullshit you have to do. So, okay, so let's go into that. Right after my divorce, I changed my name. Like, I legally changed my name. I did not change part of my name. I changed my entire fucking name. Now, let me tell you, I did that because I've hated my name like my entire life. I didn't like my maiden name. Like, obviously, my, I didn't really have a problem with my first married name. It was easier for people not to jack up than my maiden name was. But obviously, at some point, I deeply disliked my ex-husband. And so, wasn't, like, too attached to keeping that name. So anyway, so when I got married again, obviously, I gave that one up. And, like, getting married, that's, like, the easiest time to change your name, right? Like, the easiest. So, sure, fine, whatevs, no bigs. Alright, well, that goes and happens. Now, my second husband's name was actually not necessarily easier to say. I'm not saying it was hard to say, but people definitely jacked it up. And again, that's just always like low-key annoying. And so I decided, obviously, when I was getting divorced, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to keep this name. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go back to my maiden name because I don't. I don't like my name and I never have. And I'm like, you know what I should do? I think it's just fucking time to change my name. So I had already like basically tried on the name, my new name. Like, I spent pretty much the entirety of my separation just telling people, okay, look, hey, this is how you need to address me, right? And you know, that I got to try it on, I guess. And I decided it fit. Now, somebody said something to me later. They're like, well, what about this name over here? And I'm like, yeah, no, that one doesn't fit, and so we're not going to use that one. And they were like, oh, I would have thought you would have. And I'm like, I understand that you would have thought I would have, but yeah, no. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Because I want to make these two, I think we're gonna take a little break again. Hold on. So
I'm here to talk to you quickly. Listen. On my new iPhone 14, I've just downloaded a new app I think you might all enjoy. It's called Just Play. You play the games, you earn money. As simple as that. And you don't even have to play for that long. 3 hours, and you start earning money. You only got to play for 3 hours. The payouts are instant, and the best part about it, everybody gets paid. Just Play. It's called Just Play. You thank me later. Gotta go.
So I just watched an ad for something that's not real. They're like, this is this thing. It's totally not how that works. Oh, okay. I'm so tempted. Y'all don't know. Y'all do not know how tempted I am. That's really tempting, y'all. You don't know. You don't know. I'm not gonna do it, though. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. I'm just gonna wait an hour like a normal ass person. Okay, so we can do this now. There we go. So, where was I? I've gone to this first interview, or the shadowing in the interview now, right? I already knew going in that I probably wasn't going to want the position because of what it entailed. But again, hey, let's like make sure that we know what we're talking about before we make like broad sweeping generalizations, right? Sounds fair. So, I don't think I have any more of those. Whoopsie. That all happened. And I'm pretty sure I don't have any more of those. I think that was the last one. So we're going to move this over here. I went to the interview. Now, the funny thing is, everybody always asks me, hey, do you have any questions for me? And I understand that that's like a pretty standard thing as an interviewer to ask. And I know I'm not the only one who has this, but I never have any questions. If I had any questions, I usually try to ask them before I even get there. And I guess part of why I never have any questions is because I just accept, well, I mean, this is what we're doing, right? This is what this is. Like, I guess and this might be like a privilege thing. When I need a job, I need a job. Okay, I need a job. And I guess I usually feel like I don't have any bargaining power as far as having preferences because I need a fucking job. Like, I have stayed at the place that I work way too long, much longer than I should have. And now, any way that I can get out of there, I need to, right? Which means I'm disinclined to be picky, right? Past a certain point. Like, obviously, I'm not going to agree to work somewhere that's going to pay me less because that doesn't make any damn sense. Okay? I'm not going to agree to work somewhere that I like know for a fact is going to treat me worse because, again, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But, like, if there are things about the job that I don't just, like, love and think are great and awesome, that's not gonna be a deterrent. Okay? because I need a fucking job. And so we're gonna work on getting the needs met because that's the practical and realistic and reasonable thing to do, right? Which is fine. That's fine. That's life. No bigs. So I went to this interview just saying, you know what, we're gonna go and let's see what all the hubbub's about. Like now, again, like I said, I was pretty sure that it was not going to be a position that I wanted to actually take, and that's fine. It's not a big deal. But I was going to give it the old college try and see. So I get there, and oh yeah, no, I was right. It was kind of fucking gnarly. Like, whoa now. Also, the shifts that they wanted people, like, in case I was on the fence, the times that they wanted people to work were absolutely not times that I wanted to be working. And the sort of schedule and expectation is very standard for this kind of place. So, like, it wasn't like a shocker going in that they were going like, oh yeah, we're trying to hire for this. Like, I knew that wasn't for me. Like, I knew it was not for me. I knew that I was going to want to decline. Now, I had already made the decision because I have another position that I was like setting up for. I had already made the decision that, like, if it came down to the wire and the only way I could get out of the garage was to take a job that was like less than ideal hours, and that was the thing, that was the deal breaker for me, I was gonna do it. So yeah, so I get there, and like I said, old college try. I went in, right? I was open-minded. I gave it a shot. Obviously, it's not, like, there's a number of reasons why I don't want that position. And, again, I'm not in a position to be picky, so I need to be careful, like, what I say and how I agree with stuff, and, you know, what I set myself up for. Right? Because, you know, bottom line, I'm still not in a position to just say no to everything. So I'm like, I'm bearing that in mind, right? But we come to the end of the interview. And this is the funny part. We come to the end of the interview. And they're like, oh, you have any questions? I'm like, I really don't. Like, I'm super bad at the question. I hate that question because I never have anything. And then, like, if I think of something, you will absolutely hear from me. And there's a couple times when someone has asked that question, I had nothing. And then I came back later and I'm like, you know what? This is something I was curious about. And I'll circle back around. Right? So, I'm like, no, I think I'm good to go. I think you answered everything. I think you provided all the information that, like, I would have thought to ask. But I do have one little problem. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, I'm missing something. And I held up my hand. I had taken my ring off at one point on purpose. And I had slipped it into a borrowed, like, overall cover uniform kind of situation. And then I had turned that in. And because I don't take off my ring at work, now it didn't occur to me that I had even done that. Like, I was there on the when I did it. It's not like somebody suggested I do something, right? Like, I was like, oh, hey, this is going to be a problem. We're just how to fix this, right? Like, my brain spaced on it. Now, to be fair, I was there at 7 o'clock. Okay. I think it's fair that my brain was like, what? So, anyway, and they were like, "Oh no, well let me go." And the manager was like, "Let me go see about helping you with that." And I'm like, "Awesome, thanks. I'm so sorry. Like, this is not like I'm just a space cadet this morning apparently." And yeah, so she comes back and she's like, "Good news, bad news." And I was like, "Oh no." I'm like, "Okay, bad news first." And she's like, "Well, the bad news is it's already been turned in to like the laundry people's, but the good news is, it hasn't been collected. So we just need somebody to come up and like unlock the where the stuff is stored, and then you're good to go." And I'm like, okay, all right, that's we could deal with. I could deal with that. That's manageable. So I finish everything up. I go, and then I'm just sitting there. So I'm at this place for like another, I don't know, half an hour. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Longer. Because of that. Which sucked. But c'est la vie, right? So that was like total faux pas. Like unavoidable. And if I had like a lick of sense, I would have known better. And I was just laughing at myself because I was like, "You goob." And I'm like, "Yeah, good job. Good job, brain." Now, again, to be fair, like, seriously, I was super tired. I did not get, like, any sleep. And, I mean, that was kind of by design, but still not awesome. So, it's not a shocker that my brain wasn't, like, firing on all cylinders this morning. Fucking car joke. So anyway, that got sorted. I got my ring back. Now, here's the funny thing, is there were two people who came to do this, right, to help with this. And one of them was like, I looked through everything, couldn't find it. What size did you wear it? I'm like, this one. And I asked him, I was like, well, do you want me to, like, help you look? Like, because these were sold, because the clothes were used, I had gloves on. I was like, I put gloves on for like a reason. Like, I can look through them. And so he's like, no, I've looked through everything. I can't find it. And I'm like, well, I know I fucking put it in my damn pocket. Like, I didn't say that, but I'm like, I know I did. I know I did this. Like, I know I did. Right. So, um, okay, we're gonna cheat because yeah. So, hold on. I go and I'm just like, I know I did this. Like, I know I did this. Well, I pick up the nearest uniform to me, and it was in that run. So, yeah, go me. Awesome. So then I left. Well, on the way, like, we're finally getting past this fucking initial story. I know, on the way. Because I was out, and because I had stuff to do, I was like, you know what you should do? What should you do? Like, well, you had some paperwork that you needed to do. And I was like, yup, I sure do. Because, right, what did we say earlier? We changed our name. Now, I have been divorced for like a nice chunk of time now. And I still had not updated all of my IDs. Part of why I hadn't updated all of my IDs was because I had literally just bought or renewed my driver's license. And I was like, I do not want to give the DMV any more damn money right now. Like, I'm mad about it. Okay? I don't want to. Which, hey, I think it's fair. It's totally fair. So, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to do this right now. Like, according to the law, like, you need to you need to keep yourself updated because that's how they're going to find you, right? But I wasn't trying to be about that, so. Anyway, I'll get to it when I get to it. But here's the thing: I knew I was changing my name. I knew I just gotten it, and I knew I was gonna move. You have to change. You have to update your address within like 30 days too. So I was like, you know what? Let me just fuck this shit. We'll just do it all at once. So I put it off, and I put it off, and I put it off. Now, because I'm getting some certifications that I'm gonna be actively using, I need my information to be up to date. And it finally caught up with me. So I changed my name with one of the body that I guess like rules over the licensure that I'm seeking to get again. Right? And I changed my name with them, and like I have a court order, I've done all the steps and everything like that, so like it was just a matter of turning in the paperwork. No problem. Well, first of all, let me just say, when you change your name and you change your name like I did, like the whole shebang, there is so much. There's so much that goes into that, and there's so much more than I expected. I was prepared to deal with, which was another reason why I was like, well, let me just put this off as long as possible. So, I've been avoiding this, like, entirely. I've been avoiding this entirely because I was like, this is gonna be so much. And, like, I've got enough shit to deal with. I don't want this too. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just deal with this later. Well, now, like, I've waited too long. Not waited too long, but, like, I can't wait any longer, I guess, is really what I mean. So I'm like, okay, we finally have to fucking deal with this. Fine, whatever. So, I'm like, you know, I've taken the day off. I have time. My second interview wasn't even supposed to happen until 1. And so I went to the department at 7, had my interview at 10:30. It was actually after that because a bunch of other stuff happened, which is fine. I'm pretty malleable, and like I can really go with the flow. Like, I understand that things happen and you can't plan for everything, and you don't need to, and so I don't get like upset about things. Like, for the most part, most of my life, I've got some leeway, and so I'm not like gonna be up in arms about if things don't work out like perfectly or whatever. Right? For the most part, most things I can kind of manage and rearrange it as needed. So I'm like, you know what you should do? You should go to Social Security Administration office and get a new Social Security card. I'm like, I sure should. Now, when I went through all of this process, and I went through and I looked everything up, the information that I got was that things need to be done in a certain way. They need to do in a specific order. It was going to cost this, that, and the other. It was going to take this projected amount of time. Well, then, you know, everything's been further complicated by the plague. There were things that people maybe thought were going to take less time, and they took more time. And I don't know why I keep forgetting that. And just all kinds of stuff like that. So there's just various other things that have happened that like, yeah. So, ooh, 10 rubies. So, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about these. Derp. So, I talked to another friend who had also done a name change but in a different area, and they were like, oh, well, when I did it, all I did was this. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And, like, I have a definite aversion to, like, doing certain things. So, like, they don't want copies of things, right? They want the original. Well, that would mean, in some context, that you would be sending in certain paperwork, like original documents. Now, I don't have a problem with providing an original document, but I do not want to surrender an original document to someone and then expect it to get back to me, because right, shit happens. And I'd be really pissed if I had to go and order a copy of a document that I had already had because it got lost or destroyed in the mail. Right? Like, I would be hella pissed, to be honest with you. So what we're not gonna do is that shit. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. So I'm like, you know what I can do? I know the Social Security Administration office is. I'll just fucking go up there. Now, it just so happens that it was on the fucking way from where I was to home. Looky loo. So, awesome sauce. Um, and I mean, that just like worked out beautifully, is what that was. And like, I try to make sure stuff. I like, if I can make stuff happen like that, I try to. You know, I keep forgetting that I can't do that. Silly rabbit. So anyway, so I'm like, you know what? I also need to update my driver's license. Now I've gotten like I've gotten new Social Security cards because I've gotten married twice and all this other stuff. So I knew that that wasn't going to be, too terribly difficult or take too long. So I said, you know what? Let me just, since I'm here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to call the freaking DMV and see for XYZ, what do they need? Right? What do I need to provide them? And hey, do I have it? Now, part of why I was a little late this morning getting out the door is because I took the time to make sure that anything I had that I might need, I went ahead and got. Right? So I went ahead and got my birth certificate out, made sure that I had any other documentation that I could immediately think of that I needed. And I didn't really have time to call the DMV because there's like one thing that I ended up needing. Spoiler alert, I obviously went to the DMV and got it done. But there was something I could have used that would have been helpful. I ended up being able to manage with what I had, so yay. But, yeah. Which, like, totally now makes me want to, like, carry something around that fits that description, which just feels like freaking excessive, but whatever. Although I did tell wife, that she needed to get on it with, like, having stuff that she needed. Like, she needed to get a little handy dandy notebook to carry shit around in that she would need for like certain purposes, because it would just make her life easier, and then she wouldn't have to worry about where it was, and then she would have it safe with her for when she needed to use it, and then like put that shit back in a filing cabinet, right? Like when you get back. Bless her heart, she is not fucking organized, so like at all. So anyway, I call up there. Now, I'm on my way to the DMV, right? And I'm on the phone with them, and it's just kind of hilarious to me. And so I'm like, hey, I want to change my name. I also want to update my ID. And I just wanted to double check the documents to make sure I even had them before I even came in. Because I'm the kind of person who likes to be freaking prepared. Okay, y'all? Like, seriously. If I can save myself some grief by going ahead and having something that I need, that I know I'm gonna need, yeah, let's just do that. So, anyway, I was like, yeah, we need to do this. So she rattles off a bunch of stuff, and I said, okay, well, I want to also upgrade my ID because they did the whole real ID that's like a domestic flight thing. And like, if you want to fly, you're gonna have to have a passport. If you don't have that, this, that, and the other, and I don't have a passport, and I don't really feel like getting one right now. Although I maybe should, but anyway, whatever. So I'm like, yeah. And mostly because, like, flying is not something I do. And I certainly, like, I've left the country before, but I don't really feel like doing it again, like, anytime soon. I think we're good to go here. Yeah. So, anywho's it. I drive up there, I get there. It looks like I have everything I need. So, and I knew that there was a possibility that they were going to tell me, well, you just did this paperwork with the Social Security Administration office. We're not trying to see your ass now. Like, you need to wait. Like, I knew there was a possibility that they were going to say that. And that was fine, because it was still, like, on my way home. So it wasn't like it was really out of the way. Like, I arranged my commute to make sure that I could manage this without, like, backtracking. So, I did a lot of adulting today, is the long and short of all this. I know, I keep getting, like, lost in my story. I feel like it's getting worse. Like, my brain is so tired that it's harder and harder for me to, like, keep track of where I am. And I do apologize for y'all having to deal with that. As it is, though. Yeah. Now we unlocked a little more habitat. Habitats. So, was it the alpaca one last night, I think? Oh, stop it. So, anyway. Yay! I'm super excited. So, now, I was at the DMV while, like, still at the DMV when my second interview was supposed to happen. So while I was waiting, I absolutely was like, yeah. I sent an email and said, I'm not gonna be able to make it. Now, I've already decided that I wasn't not gonna reschedule. And I did get an email later. She's like, did you want to reschedule? And I'm just thinking, I sure fucking don't. Never you mind that. Alright, is that everybody? Do I have any other little thingies? Oh, I didn't put this. Oh no, I put that over there for a reason, didn't I? I sure did. Alright. So. Oh, I'll put that there. Anywho's it. Sorry, I did not mean for that to happen. I flipped my phone over. I'm super excited because that's now a thing. So I finally got all my stuff updated. It's the greatest. It's the best. It's one less thing for me to deal with now. So freaking hip hip hooray. Like, I'm so glad. Because seriously, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna solve this problem. And now it's not a thing that I have to worry about. Hooray! So that's cool. Alright, so I think we started doing like baseline if we have to, we could do the 4s. Oh, I should have done the 5 instead. See, I'm tired. Obviously, I'm not making good life choices right now. I'm not making good merge choices. Not. I am not Sam I am. Ooh. So. Oh, hey, look at that. I didn't even notice I had 2 of those. Silly rabbit. That said, yay, this has happened. So, soon all my ideas are going to be up to date. I'm not going to have to worry about that. It's going to be glorious. Because it's going to solve the whole name license debacle that I was having to deal with. Which is fantastic. Now I don't have to deal with it. And then I'll also just have these things ready. And I won't have to worry about my name being wrong anymore, which is just fan-freaking-tastic. And it'll just be just something like so much less to worry about now, which is so much yay. So hooray! Oh, is that why this is weird? Okay. So, like, yeah. Progress, right? Progress. Okay. I have, in fact, I think exhausted everything I can do, and probably melted your brain with my really awful storytelling tonight. So, alright, let's go back over to here, to the home island. Let's see what we're doing right now. Like, I know enough time hasn't passed for me to, like, do anything. But I can... Let's see, can I totally get some more freaking energy, though. Oh, sugar snaps. I didn't even think about that. I keep forgetting that I don't have that. I don't have that. Oh, man. And it needs 19. It needs 19. 19 energies. Alright, so what's going to happen is we're going to let that do its thing, and we're just going to call it good. So, look, if you watch this on demand later, I'm sorry. I really have, I guess, been getting more and more tired. And it's taking a toll on me, and it's making, like, communication difficult. So, sorry for the ramble. What? Yeah. I'm gonna try and be better about that. Now, like I said the other day, I think that my streaming schedule is gonna shift a bit. Because I'm gonna have to rearrange my entire schedule because the hours that I'm gonna be working are an entire hour later, starting and ending. And so, like, I've been going to the gym after work. I'm not gonna be doing that now. Like, I actually went to the gym at like 8 o'clock tonight, and it was fucking awful. Or it's like after 7, and I was like, ew, gross. So, I'm gonna have to go to the gym in the morning again, which is great because that's what I want to do. And if I go to the gym early enough in the morning, what will happen, right, is I'll be able to keep it up so that when I switch over to the other position that I really, really want, which is, again, that's kind of boggling my mind that I can even say that. I can, actually just like do this, like for realsies. So that'll be cool. Anyway, if you're watching this on demand later, thanks for tuning in. Consider giving me a like and following me. If you want, I need to link some other stuff. Anyway, I need to do all the things. And I can't do all the things. So we're gonna just try to do as many of the things as we can manage, right? That sounds good. Alright, if you're watching this on YouTube, yeah, I know. I know. Good thing is, my gaming isn't serious. Hopefully nothing to disappoint anybody with, but, whatevs. Alright. Peace and hair grease, y'all.